We live in a time today where perfection is thrown in our face, right? Everywhere on Instagram, and we go on social media and we see these perfect business leaders who talk about their day, and there's so many different videos, right? And I am guilty because I watch it at times. But like, what's the perfect morning routine and stuff like that, and like crazy stuff, right? I mean, I'm like, if I had so much time like that to wake up and put like, have my coffee, go for a run, come and work out, and all the things that they do, right? Put like whatever cucumber on their eyes or whatever shit they do, right? There's so many things to be done, and then after that, meditate and walk out on the grass bare feet and all of those types of things. My day would be over. So yeah, it would be a great day in a sense, because I wouldn't do anything. So I think about these things, but I also watch it, and I think a lot of us watch it with the fact that we do want to make our days better. We do want to make our we do feel that mornings, I think, impact the rest of the day. And today we live in a difficult world today. So it's difficult, and we want to do everything possible to keep us sane. And we literally are like a sponge, whether it's a Instagram reel or whatever. Things that a decade ago we would make fun of, for the person who even did that video, today we are learning from that person and we are respecting that person, right? So a lot of these views come from there. But one of the things that in life, even after doing all of these things, even after having a regiment, and I've been quite disciplined over the last few years to be able to do things at the right time, do it every day, regardless of holidays or Saturdays or Sundays, have a really planned, regimented life. And to a large extent, it's been great. And I think a lot of benefit. But it doesn't stop the feeling of frustration. It doesn't stop the feeling of irritation at times where you're like, screw it, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. Whether it's personally or professionally, it becomes overwhelming because there's so many things that are going on that you're like, I just want to sleep. Like I want to shut the world off as if it was like an on-off switch, right? And a lot of times for example, at work, when I get frustrated, there's a space outside my office which is like a terrace space, where we often sit. And when I work late and I'm going through this type of phase and I'm thinking about this, I often go there and nobody's in office, but I go and sit there. And sometimes thoughts that I have are like, do I want to do this? I don't want to do this anymore. It's too frustrating. It's too hard. It's too irritating. I don't want any of this, right? I'm done. I'm done. I should just stop right now, right? So sometimes we automatically almost call our own bluff, and it's almost like we take ourselves for a joke because I had that whole conversation with myself and then I get up and I go to work, right? And so the whole part of getting frustrated and irritated, like just wanting to hang up, like in my mind right now, I can hear these dogs in the background. I want to stop this podcast, but I don't want to because I don't, and I keep on talking. I'm like, screw it. This is life, right? And it's exactly that way all the time. So every single time I'm going outside in that terrace and thinking about it, and this happens obviously professionally and personally to me, I started thinking about that. Why don't I take myself seriously when I say I'm going to stop? Like, why don't I take myself seriously? And imagine I put myself into a situation. Imagine I met one of my best friends or my wife or somebody who I cared about, my brother or somebody. And I said to them, hey, listen, I'm thinking of quitting all of this. I'm thinking of stopping all of this. And my brother looks at me and says, okay, want to get some pizza? Be like, what? Like, are you serious? I would get so pissed. I was like, dude, I'm telling you that I might be leaving the organization. I might be stopping everything, and you are completely dismissive of it. And then I think back, I do the same thing with myself. Like, so much easier so because I actually go back to work. And so it got me thinking as to why I don't take myself seriously. And I realized that it's actually because I've thought about it before. I didn't start calling my bluff from day one. I've had multiple times of wanting to quit, whether it's personal or professional, wanting to just leave it and go. In fact, quit life, like literally turn it off and go somewhere. I don't mean like, I definitely don't mean from a suicide. I mean like just Control Alt Delete, just like go somewhere and just like go and move and start a completely new life. And there are times in your life where things get so frustrated that it's easy just to leave. Like things are so messed up, things are so out of order that you just feel, let me just start a new page, like completely a blank page, right? But you don't go. And I think those times in the past where we've kind of thought about it and thought about quitting and given it a lot of thought before we actually came up with our conclusion, I think one of the things that taught us is that even when we do quit, because there are times where you just quit at something, whether it's a project or it's a friendship or a relationship or work, we realize that just because we throw in the towel, the world still continues. Nothing changes. And so yeah, life knocks us off of our feet and it also brings us back in shape. But like I said, every time we throw in the towel, we realize that the world continues. You can quit, but the world will not. This means somehow you can never throw in the towel, but perhaps all you can do is pick up a new towel. Which means every single time I think of quitting, my thought process has been that, hey, if I quit what I'm doing right now, I'm probably going to start something similar or new like it. And I'm going to end up in this exact same position thinking I'm good. So why am I going to go through that entire thing? Because the world will go on. Because my other choice is to not do anything, sit at home. But that won't work. Because without, for all of us, something to do, fight for, it's not worth living. The pain and struggle of life is something we choose because the other choice is to do nothing, which sounds great, but is worse than a death penalty. Try it for a week. Do nothing. Nothing. Life will suck very soon. And you will truly question your reason to live. And at that point of time, you won't just throw in the towel, but from where this analogy comes from, which is boxing, let me continue. You'll throw in your gloves, your pads, and you'll even push that boxer in the ring. And for that reason, and for the fact that you believe that after this, even if I quit, I have to start a new journey with the same challenges and the same type of tribulations, then you start evaluating, saying what's good in your life. And now I'm going back to all those YouTube videos which talk about gratitude. Okay, now it makes sense. That everything can always seem shitty. But there's always something to be thankful for in that shittiness. And sometimes we believe that if we quit all of that, we'll lose the things to be thankful for also. And those things hold us back. I think that may be the glue of commitment. And so every time I'm thinking about quitting now, it's funny that I call my own bluff. But I also realize that I don't mean it. And my body knows it because intuitively it knows that I don't mean it. And the times that I do, it will allow me to think. But other times, it will just blow me off like my brother would. Something to think about.